Hey, you old hag! You need to break up with my brother this instant!
Hello? Is that you, Sophia? You're obviously Mark's little sister, then. I'm taking good care of Mark, though.
I don't care! I'm saying that you need to break up with him, alright? I won't let you both get married. I can't believe that he's going to go through with this marriage to you. I need to wake him up from this nightmare.
I don't understand what you're wanting to say, Sophia. Mark and I have already gotten married.
What the heck? How is that possible?
We're married now, so of course we're not going to break up. That makes you my new sister-in-law. I hope that we can get along from now on as sisters.
Why would my brother choose you to marry? I don't get it. You're just a misunderstood, ugly piece of crap that's wanting his money.
That's such a crude thing to say, don't you think? Did you forget how to be polite with other people or something?
You're after his money, right? My brother works for a really good company and he excels at his job. Aren't you just wanting his money for your own future success because it's a sure thing?
Well, thank you for telling me more about the company he works for. I'm in no way after my husband's money, so please don't worry.
I don't believe a word of that. With the pompous attitude that you have, what else would you possibly say? I am totally against this marriage, so you need to break up.
How much influence do you think you have in the decisions we make? We've already gotten married, and the ceremony itself will be in the weekend. Why don't you just approve of our marriage? That is what pleases your brother the most, if you could do that.
I will protect my brother at all costs from you.
What do you mean, Sophia?
You're older than my brother, aren't you? You're almost 10 years older than me. Why would such an old lady like you want to put her hands all over my brother for?
Would you quit calling me old already? How is being a different age than your brother even related to how I feel about him? It's rather odd trying to explain this to my husband's sister. It's also strange to suddenly talk through a messaging app when we haven't been properly acquainted. How about we talk about it the next time we meet up together as a family? Maybe we can get along if we talk this out in person.
Me and the wrinkly old piece of crap talking? Oh, please, save your breath.
If you're going to talk like that, it seems a bit difficult to get along with someone who feels like this.
I want my brother to have the best marriage, and what he chooses is an old hag who is ugly and looking to steal his money. My brother shouldn't be marrying such a woman, don't you agree? I have to keep telling you to reconsider your marriage, but you won't listen to me. You haven't been replying to my messages for a while. Are you there? Don't you think that's strange?
Even if you're saying that it's strange, it seems like a problem between you and your brother. I'm not telling you to reply to my messages, Sophia. Can't you see a reason why Mark won't reply to you? Maybe it's because you're saying that he shouldn't be with me and saying horrible things about me?
What the heck? There's no way that Mark would think like that about me when I'm just trying to protect him. Absolutely no way.
Well, if you think so, then everything should be fine, right? If it were me, I don't know what I would do if my family were talking badly about my spouse. This conversation is becoming pointless, and I don't like it.
Oh, so you're saying this is my fault? You can't sink any lower if you're going to blame me for everything.
Right, okay. No matter what you say now, it's getting on my nerves. How about we have a slow and clear conversation next time we see each other in person? I'll talk to Mark about it so that we can all talk about this together like adults. I just want you to know that we are happy together. I hope this puts your mind at ease a little bit. Hi, sweetie. So, Sophia messaged me. She told me that she hadn't contacted you at all, but didn't you talk to her?
Yeah, I did. I got a load of messages from her. It's all these messages about how we shouldn't get married and to stop seeing each other and that sort of thing. I don't understand why she's sending me these types of messages. So I just didn't reply to her.
Oh, as I suspected. That sounds about right. It seems that she hates me.
She always used to follow me around. I definitely spoiled Sophia, as she was my baby sister, and she just wanted to be around her older brother. We're both almost in our 30s now. I didn't think it would go this far.
Sophia is 26, right? I think she's at the age where she should be leaving her brother to his own devices.
It might have been better to register our marriage without saying anything to her. Otherwise, she might get in our way of having a nice wedding ceremony. I'm really happy that we're married. I want to apologize about what Sophia's saying about you. Try to not let it get to you too much, okay?
It's not your fault, dear. I get it. It's all right. I'll try not to let what she said get to me.
I'm really sorry about her. She's a bit weird when it comes to me.
You have nothing to apologize for. Don't worry. I thought it would be nice if I could get along with Sophia. I'm hated more than I imagined, so I'm quite confused. I'm thinking about what I could do.
I'm just as surprised as you, love. I think you should just tell what you've done so far.
But I feel like she won't listen to me no matter what I say.
That's true, yeah. But it's my life, not Sophia's. She can't just decide things for me. If she keeps complaining about you and saying cruel things, we need to think of something to solve the Sophia issue.
I hope that we can all somehow talk to each other and understand our situations together. And then, of course, reconcile. I'll talk to her at family dinner after the wedding ceremony.
Thank you for considering all these things. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's for family. It's a pretty normal thing to do.
Oh, thank God it's over for the both of you.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? The wedding ceremony hasn't even started yet. What's over? What are you saying?
You're both no longer husband and wife. You're a complete nobody to him now. I never have to look at your face ever again.
What's that supposed to mean?
I filed divorce papers for you both. You guys are already divorced now. I freed my brother from your grasp. I can't believe how good of a job I did to manage that.
What the heck? You filed divorce papers without our permission?
I sure did. Oh well, I bet you're really frightened of me now, huh?
I'm not even remotely afraid of you, you know. No matter who you are as a sister-in-law, you've overstepped the mark. If you've gone this far, there is no way of coming back from it.
Whatever you say, stranger. It's more of the fact that I'm completely satisfied with the fact that I saved my precious older brother from you.
Save? Are you kidding me? You wanted to keep your brother away from anything that makes him happy?
That's not the reason. An ugly, money-seeking woman like you will never get close enough to my brother. I saved him from you.
Would you quit it with all your cruel and hateful words? You're just bullying me now. Do you have any idea what you've just done?
You're not a suitable match for my brother. Now that you're divorced from him, you're no longer to get involved with him or our family. Do you really think my brother would love an ugly, gold-digging woman like you? You're dreaming. Now that the divorce papers have been filed, the wedding ceremony will be canceled.
Yes, I guess there's no problems then.
Wow, such a strong, ugly lady.
What if I did things on my own terms? If it was all to lead to a divorce, Mark would be the only one who has to deal with the trouble.
Huh? What are you talking about, you ugly woman? It wouldn't be like that. My brother's the best of the best. Even if he divorced a woman like you, he would bounce back really quickly. He's such a popular guy that he would be able to get an even more attractive and intelligent woman.
You do know that I was once your brother's boss, and he was the one working for me, not the other way around.
I don't believe you. You were his boss.
Yes, even though you believe me to be the gold digger, it's funny that you're misunderstanding the money situation. Don't you think that as a boss that I wouldn't have money?
You? Betty? A boss? An ugly woman like you?
I already explained this to you when we first met. I'm pretty sure that Mark did as well. You really do lack the ability to listen to people, Sophia.
Does this mean that my brother will be fired because of the divorce? Actually, you know what? That's fine. My brother is super talented and can get a fancier job like that. He will no longer be troubled by you if you're not around.
Oh, is that what you believe?
What are you trying to say, Betty?
Shouldn't you be the one to decide whether you believe it or not? I'm going to inform Mark of the situation.
Mark never gets angry with me because I'm his cute little sister. Sometimes he might make a troubled face at me, but in the end, he always forgives me. That means it'll all be okay.
Wow, you have a lot of confidence, Sophia. I admire you for that. Don't you think that only applies to when you were elementary school students? With Mark knowing the circumstances, he said that he would cut you off and be estranged from you.
Excuse me? Cut off?
That's right. We were going to pay for your college tuition, and we were planning to pay for future study abroad expenses, but I suppose we'll have to cancel that.
Pay for what? My college expenses?
As a result of you being out of employment and having gone to a private university being a burden on your parents, I thought it was a tough situation to be in. Over the past year, I paid for it. But from all of this, even after graduating from college, you haven't been looking for a job and you've been living at home for the past 2 years already. You've messed up big time. Do you have any idea of how much trouble you've caused your family?
You've paid everything for me. Why would you do something like that?
As Mark's little sister, you were like family to me and I made that decision to help you out. But now knowing that you've hated me this entire time, it's so awkward. I really thought that we could become friends someday, but as I kind of expected, the situation ended up like this. So it seems that whilst you'll be studying overseas, you'll be eating up all of your parents' money. You said that you filed the divorce papers, so of course I'll cancel the payments.
But, Betty, does this mean I can't study overseas now?
That's right, Sophia, unless you use your own money. Your parents, myself, or anyone else for that matter, don't intend on helping you out after what you've done.
Betty, hang on a minute, okay? I had no idea up until now that you were doing this. Even though you said this all so suddenly, it's difficult for me to respond without knowing anything about it.
If you were at college, I'd be forcing you to drop out since you won't be able to afford it. Such a pity. But I'll make sure that you repay me for what I paid for you, and you'll need to repay your parents for all the trouble you've caused them. If you want to study abroad, you need to go on your own expense. I'll never support you financially again after the things you've called me.
Betty, don't be mad at me. I had no idea that this was the situation. You can't be that mad at me, surely.
I'm not just mad. I'm completely dumbfounded by your behavior. I don't want anything to do with you anymore, so just do your best by yourself. With that, I bid you farewell, Sophia.
Wait, what's with the goodbyes, Betty? What am I supposed to do now?
Who knows? You can't come to the wedding ceremony. I don't think you're really part of the family anymore.
Huh? You're still going to have a wedding ceremony? How?
Today's Saturday, and I heard that the courthouse has a temporary window reception open, right? So I went there to confirm if divorce papers were filed in my name, and they were, so I canceled them, and now they're invalid.
Well, that means everything's fine now. I didn't do anything wrong then.
Don't you understand that it's not a problem that can be easily fixed?
Huh? What do you mean it can't be fixed?
You forged our divorce papers and submitted them, Sophia. I tried to call off the wedding, and as I expected, Mark is furious about it. I have no intention of dealing with you in the future. I hope that cutting you off will make all the difference.
Wait, Betty, so I can no longer study overseas? And if I forged the papers, that means you're not divorced after all. Doesn't it mean that everything will be okay? It means nothing has changed, right?
My perception of you has changed. I thought of you as family, Sophia, and now I just see you as my enemy. Mark also sees you that way as well. He's cutting you off too. Don't even think about showing yourself around us ever again. We cringe at the sight of you.
Please, wait a minute, Betty. Let's talk this out. Can't we talk this out nice and calmly, like adults?
You would have been if you were dealing with the Betty who was nice and calm a few hours ago. Do you think I would now? It's all over, Sophia. You made the mess. You lie in it. I'm sorry it came down to this, but you're nothing but a stranger to us now. Don't come anywhere near our wedding ceremony or else.
Betty, I'm really sorry. Please accept my apology. I was so terrible to you. I realize that now. I know you and my brother are really mad at me, but please look into your hearts and forgive me. I can't live on my own if my family abandons me. I was really looking forward to studying overseas. Please let me go. We're family, right? Please, I'm on my knees here. Forgive me for what I've done.
I'm not forgiving you for anything, you horrible little girl. You pushed your brother too far this time, and you're just being a complete nuisance to everybody. Why don't you go and cry on your own and let us live in peace, all right? Don't contact me again.
Please, Betty, don't do this. Please don't leave things like this. Please don't abandon me. I have nowhere to go.
It's too late, Sophia. Did you finally realize that you picked the wrong person to pick on? You're just a piece of crap, you horrible little girl. When it came down to the problem at hand, the divorce papers were discarded by Betty and Mark got married without any issues. Sophia came to the ceremony in tears, but she was not allowed inside. She was completely amazed by the actions of her brother and her family. It seems that she had no choice but to be at a loss after her brother and family cut her off and was isolated from them. Once Betty and Mark got married, they lived happily ever after. Sophia had no place to go, and the study abroad program she was looking forward to vanished. She was forced to pay back her tuition and started working part-time as a live-in babysitter. Right now, it seems like she's living alone without the support of her family. Her problems were self-inflicted, so there's no way of rescuing her from this fate.
Brooke, you're not seriously still working, are you? Why don't you do the responsible thing here for once and quit your job? Then I can finally get some grandchildren out of you and my son. Would you hurry up, because I want some grandchildren before I eventually die. Along with my Peter, you need to contribute to the housework.
Again, with this conversation, Sandra, you know that I have nothing to say on the matter. I don't plan on quitting my job anytime soon, so I'm sorry if that doesn't fit into your way of living. There's nothing wrong with me having a career.
Now hold on just a minute there, Brooke. Do you really think this is the end of it for me?
I'm sorry, what are you trying to say here?
I'm making such an effort to contact you, and you're just going to let it all go and not hear me out? Do you have any sort of common sense in that brain of yours? I guess you don't, since you're always out of the house working in the first place despite being a wife to my son. This makes me completely doubt your humanity and what you should be doing for the family, which is making one.
Seriously, Sandra, don't you think that you're being too old-fashioned?
Whatever do you mean by that?
In this day and age, it's a very normal thing for both the husband and wife to be working and sharing the housework. The things we do in this house are a little bit more unique, but if you're going to keep judging us for it, then can you just stay out of our way? We are working hard and earning money, so please don't complain about our situation.
You can't say things like that to me. I'm your mother-in-law, and my opinion matters when it comes to this family. You really do have a limit to your common sense. Surely I can get rid of you just like that if you intend on speaking to me like you have, right?
Please don't threaten me with those strange and scary comments. It's not going to do anyone any good. What do you even mean by getting rid of me?
I mean that we don't need you in this family, and I can throw you out like garbage. Are you a non-burnable piece of waste, or would you prefer being burnt to a crisp?
No. Would you quit it with your horrible jokes? They're not funny and, frankly, a crazy thing to say, Sandra.
Can you blame me? You make me so angry. You'd be angry too if your darling son had a wife who was literally trash. You'll understand how I feel when you have your own children.
Oh, really? Is that so? Even though I've married your son and would want to have children someday, you still won't keep your nose out of our business? I just want to live a quiet life, Sandra.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means what I say it means. I think it's a statement you don't need to read into very hard to understand. I'm going to leave the conversation at that, and if you want to voice your opinion, then please talk to your son about it. Since anything I try to say is just going to cause more trouble than it's worth.
Isn't my son so tired from all the work he's doing? Have you given that any consideration at all?
His work is not as strenuous as mine, so he's not as tired as I am.
You seriously have a problem with not listening to what people are saying, don't you? I can't deal with this crap right now. I'm so angry. Would you please think about what I said for a bit and put it into action?
Okay, Sandra, I understand your request, but if there's anything else, please take it up with your son. On that note, I'll leave you to it. Why have you not properly explained to your mother about our situation yet?
Brooke? What about?
I'm talking about our jobs, Peter. She's still indicating to me that she doesn't understand that we're both working. How much more can I explain what it is to her, and what would you be if I didn't work? You know that we wouldn't be able to live if I didn't work, right?
Brooke, can you be quiet for a second, please? There's no need to go out of your way to explain all that with my mother, okay? We're a happy married couple.
Happy? Ha ha. Is that some sort of a joke? I think I feel more stressed out than anything. If you can't earn your own money, then why don't you just do housework?
Is it okay for you to say that to me?
Huh? What do you mean? If I didn't tell you, who do I tell it to? Ha ha. I'm talking to you because it's about you, Peter.
Yeah, I'm your husband after all. If you say that sort of thing to me, wouldn't that hurt my mother's feelings?
Well, can you please try to understand the situation you're in and think about what you should do in a calm manner? I can no longer go along with this charade anymore, so please solve this dilemma immediately.
Okay, could you at least make dinner? It would really help since I've been trying to eat at home more these days than at the office.
I usually do make dinner when I finish work early. Isn't it a normal thing to make dinner for yourself if you're going to be late? Or rather, I make my part of the meal. You do realize you're not doing anything else right now?
Are you asking them to make it then? Are you serious?
Can you please try and make food tomorrow? You've been giving a lot of unnecessary stress over this. Is it okay if you could do that much at least, please?
Alright. It's just such a hassle, though. I'll do it this one time, since all of this can't be helped at the present. This time is an exception.
What are you even saying? Also, go to the unemployment office, too. Have you both decided when you're getting a divorce? Excuse me? What's brought this on all of a sudden? You made my son the breadwinner, and you're making him do the housework as well? You know for a long time I haven't liked you at all. But knowing what you were like with my son, I absolutely loathe you. Okay, I'm confused. What has housework got to do with you loathing me? What are you so mad about, Sandra? Look, I've decided that you need to get a divorce from each other. If you don't mind getting out of our lives now, that would be great. It's only natural to find a man and get married, I understand that, but you lack so much common sense, it's not even funny. What game are you playing here, Brooke? Sandra, do you really think forcing your old school ideas onto me is going to work? By housework, do you mean tonight's dinner? Yes, that's right. My son has a wife who can do that now. He shouldn't have to. Don't you realize that you're someone's wife now? Don't you have to do what you're meant to as a loyal wife? What the heck are you trying to say, Sandra? I'm obviously not getting through to you, so I filed the divorce papers myself. You can't be serious. Oh, I'm dead serious. I'm so glad that I was able to file them for you. I made a divorce paper up for you both when you got married in case there was a serious breakdown in the marriage. When I think of it, I thought there was something weird with our legal documents. You did this and kept it from us? Now you're nothing but strangers to one another. Oh, I'm so relieved. My son has gotten a divorce from his garbage of a wife. Is that all you have to say? I really didn't think that you would go that far. As you would expect, I am quite surprised. If you make my son do all the housework as an excuse for you both working, and so you don't have to, then you're not fit to be a wife. I feel so sorry for my son, but if he has a useless wife, then she should divorce him and leave. Oh, I see. You really are an expert. Oh, I am all right. I never want to see your face around these parts ever again. This has all been a complete misunderstanding on your part, and in turn made us get divorced. But of course, that's something you do, Sandra. I will no longer go against your expectations. Anything more you're wanting to say to me, Brooke? You've completely failed as a wife since you're making your own husband cook for you. You know you're doing me a disservice with blaming me for your prehistoric ideologies. I owe you my gratitude for divorcing me from your son. Well then, I will do as you wish and get a divorce, but I think that you'll regret doing this a lot. Regret it? I highly doubt it. It would be useless to have a wife like you around. When are you gonna erase yourself from our lives? Didn't I already tell you that it's okay? Your wish of me divorcing Peter has been granted, but can I just say one more thing? We worked well as a couple. Since Peter's father died, we've been thinking about how you would cope. We were planning on gifting you a 2-family-sized house. What? You were? Yes, but I can't help but tell you now what we wanted to do for you. It's no use now, even if you try to reconcile with me. We thought about you a lot, and we were going to put our plan into action. It ended up being a waste of time and effort, and now I am the only one who's working in the family, so... What the heck are you talking about, Brooke? I don't understand this at all. I said that I can't tell you, Sandra. It has to be Peter that tells you what's actually going on. What does he have to tell me? What happened? What have you done to my son? I didn't want to tell you since it's Peter's story, but he got made redundant about 6 months ago. What? He lost his job? Yep, and he's been unemployed ever since. If I were to quit my job like you told me to do, we couldn't afford the rent for our place. Hold up. So you're telling me that Peter has been unemployed for quite a while now? That's what I'm saying, Sandra. Aren't you paying attention? That's why I'm the one who's working all the time. Peter doesn't have a job, and he hardly does any housework either, so I end up being super exhausted every day. I'm relieved that you filed a divorce for us. Thank you so much for that. What? You're thanking me? But... So I'll be leaving him then. However, the place we're in is a rental, and I'm the one who parts out for the rent, so... I think it would be impossible for Peter to continue living there without an income. I think you'll have to withdraw some money for him to live there. Or he can go back to living with you, so you'll need to take care of him. This has got nothing to do with me anymore. Oh, wait, Brooke, let's talk about this in more detail, okay? What else is there to talk about? I'm already done with the talking and have nothing else to say. Do you have something to add? What's going on with the 2-family-sized house that you mentioned? What do you want to know about it? Well, you were building a 2-family house for us. Whatever will I do with it? Oh, no way, Sandra. We're divorced now, right? So, of course, we've decided to not go ahead with the 2-family house, all right? Excuse me? Why the heck not? Why would I, Sandra? Why would I build a house like that for my now ex-mother-in-law when we're divorced? Your son was more or less fired from his job because he couldn't work properly, so it seems like your son can't build the house after all. So there really is no 2-family house for me at all? You should have told me about the house before. I wouldn't have filed the divorce papers. At some point, I wanted to get a divorce as well, so there was no point telling you. I still had some feelings for him, but Peter didn't like that. I wasn't quite ready then, but I am now. You're the one that wanted a divorce, and not Peter? What is it that you're getting from the conversation that we've had so far, Sandra? I have been the one working hard and earning, and I'm done, so I wanted out of this marriage. But thanks to you, I was able to get a divorce, and I am so grateful for that. You'll end up taking care of your unemployed son who's returned home to you. Do your best, Sandra. Brooke, wait, but I don't have the 2-family-sized house. You're handing my son back to me? That's correct. I haven't heard of this from my son, though. Why would you do something like this? Shouldn't you have explained this to me properly beforehand? You need to be held accountable for all of this. How dare you not explain this to me, Brooke? I don't get what you're saying, Sandra. How many times do you think I told your son to tell you about what's going on? By the way, I'm the one that kept telling him to talk to his own mother. But the reason why I didn't do anything was because it was a problem between the two of you. Do you get what I'm saying? He didn't know how to even make food for dinner, so he must have asked you for help. He didn't help me at all. I was so frustrated just because of all those little things, and now I'm divorced. It seems like you were the one who had trouble letting us get divorced, didn't you? I had no clue about that, so I can't help what happened. Come on now, Brooke, that's enough of this nonsense. Let's not argue over all these strange things that have occurred. Why don't we just forget about this and you can make up with Peter? Please, have a long and happy life with him. I don't think we're on the same page, Sandra. I'm not happy anymore, so I prefer being divorced from him. Besides, I don't like having you for a crazy mother-in-law. You were the one that made us get divorced without our permission, remember? I'll call the courthouse and get it removed. Everything will be just fine. Just get back with my son, please. Let me tell you, Sandra, I have no intention of fixing this. Even if you try to rip up the divorce papers, I will get a lawyer and a divorce will be finalized. You're going to go to that extreme? There's no need for you to do that. Thanks to you, Sandra, I finally realized that I wanted a divorce this whole time. I'm tired of dealing with scumbags and miserable old hags in my life. What? Who are you talking about? Oh, forget it. It doesn't matter anymore. Well, not to me anyways. And with that, I bid you farewell, Sandra. Good luck living with your downright poor son. You're gonna need it. Enjoy your lives together. In the end, it was Sandra who was the cause of Brooke and Peter getting a divorce. Peter resents his mother for finalizing his divorce from his wife. Despite being unemployed and having a bossy attitude, he lives at his mother's house. Because of Sandra, he was divorced. It seems like Peter told his mother to work since none of them had a job. Sandra had no choice but to earn a living so she could pay for her son. It seems that she will face the worst of old age since she has the added stress of working. It seems that for the time being, they can't see a bright future ahead of them.